All right. Rascal Flatts fans, get ready, because this deep dive is going to take us like right into the thick of it. A comeback story 25 years in the making. Can you believe it?
Crazy, right?
They're promising new music, a massive tour, and let's be real, a whole lot of nostalgia.
Yeah.
You know, when we put the call out for sources on this one, we had no idea. So many of you were ready to bless the broken road all over again.
It's definitely struck a chord, like, big time. And you're right to be excited.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't just a rehash of the good old days. There are layers to this reunion. Hints of, maybe some conflicts, internal stuff, creative evolution. It's not just a tour.
It's a statement.
It is.
You've been digging into those articles for us. What's the mission for our deep dive today? Where do we even begin?
Okay, well, let's start with the tour itself. They're calling it the Life is a Highway Tour, which, if you ask me, is a pretty clear message.
Yeah.
25 years in, they're hitting the road again, but they're not just retracing old steps.
Right.
They're looking to connect with fans, old and new, and the venues they've chosen.
Tell a story.
Tell a very fascinating story.
Okay, spill the tea. Big arenas, small town charm, or are we talking a mix of both?
A bit of both, actually.
Yeah.
You've got the Ford Center in Evansville, Nationwide Arena in Columbus.
Uh-huh.
Those are big-name venues aiming for that electric, sold-out show energy.
Oh, yeah.
Defines a band at their peak, right?
Yeah.
But then you see stops, like the Choctaw Grand Theater in Durant, Oklahoma, and that tells a different story. That tells me they're not just chasing the spotlight. They're remembering those diehard fans who were there from the get-go.
And it's like they're trying to prove they haven't gone Hollywood, that they remember where they came from.
Exactly. And that's a powerful message for fans.
Totally.
Especially those who might be wondering, if the band has changed too much over the years.
Right. Have they?
We'll see. But while we're on the topic of connecting with fans, have you seen the ticket sale dates?
Oh, tell me they're coming up.
They're coming in hot.
I live for a good countdown. What are we looking at?
October 4th, 10 a.m. local time.
Right.
Mark your calendars. Set your alarms. Because if those articles are anything to go by, these tickets are going to disappear faster than you can sing Fast Cars and Freedom.
Oh, yeah.
And listen, if you want to make it a truly unforgettable experience, VIP packages.
Ooh, tell me more.
Backstage access, premium seats, the works.
Okay, for all you VIPs out there, you heard it here first. Now, I know there's one date in particular that's raising eyebrows, October 11th in Huntsville, Alabama. They're doing something different with tickets for that show.
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
It's a full week later than all the other dates, and it happens to be Gary LeVox's hometown. Now, I'm not one for baseless speculation, but this could be a calculated move.
Oh, you think so?
To drum up even more excitement.
Oh, you think they're planning something special?
Yeah.
A surprise announcement? Maybe even a guest appearance?
Maybe.
This is why I love a good deep dive. It always keeps you on your toes.
Exactly. And it plays into this whole narrative of giving back to the fans, acknowledging their roots.
Right.
But before we spiral down the rabbit hole of fan theories, and trust me, we'll get there, we need to address the elephant in the room.
Let's do it.
They haven't always been on the best of terms, have they?
It's true. You can't talk about a reunion without acknowledging the reason they needed one in the first place. And some of these articles hint at a more complicated story than just needing a break.
Right. The articles mention that even before the pandemic threw a wrench in their plans, there were whispers of internal conflicts.
Yeah.
Remember they announced a farewell tour back in 2020?
Oh, right.
But then things went quiet.
They did.
5 years is a long time to be out of touch, especially for a band that thrives on creative collaboration.
So the question is, are they coming back together because they've truly mended those fences, or is there a chance this tour is putting those tensions under a microscope?
That's a question we're going to unpack in detail because it gets right to the heart of what this reunion really means both for the band and for their fans.
Okay, we're back, and you know what time it is? It's time to dive even deeper into this whole Rascal Flatts reunion thing.
Let's do it.
We've talked about the tour dates, the venues, and that whole Huntsville mystery.
Right.
But let's be honest. The real question on everyone's mind is the music.
Yeah, what are they going to play?
Exactly. It's a 25th anniversary tour. I mean, that comes with certain expectations,
For sure.
The fans, they want to hear those classic hits.
Of course.
The songs that define their youth, their first heartbreak, their wildest road trips.
It's true.
But then there's this other side.
Right.
This need to prove they're not stuck in the past.
Yes.
That they've grown as artists, that they still have something new to say.
And that's where the speculation about new music comes in.
Okay, yeah. Spill the tea.
They've been dropping hints here and there.
Oh, really? Like what?
Mentioning writing and recording sessions. But so far, no concrete details, no album announcements, no singles released.
So they're keeping us in suspense.
Totally.
You've got to admire the strategy, though.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they're building anticipation with every tease, every cryptic social media post.
And you can bet fans are reading between the lines. I mean, some of the articles you sent mentioned speculation about possible collaborations, maybe even a surprise guest appearance during the tour.
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a good surprise, especially when it involves some of country music's biggest names. What are people thinking? Who are the top contenders for a Rascal Flatts collab?
Well, there's a lot of buzz about Lauren Elena and Chris Lane.
Really?
And for good reason.
Okay, why?
Remember, they're the opening acts for the tour.
Oh, that's...
So the potential for a crossover performance is definitely there.
Wait a minute, I completely missed that. Lauren Elena and Chris Lane, that's huge. Not just for them, but for Rascal Flatts, too. It's like they're choosing to pass the torch, you know? Bring a fresh energy to their sound.
It's a smart move.
It is.
You've got these established stars, icons in their own right, sharing the stage with rising talent who bring their own dedicated fan base.
Right.
It bridges the gap between generations.
I love it.
And it injects a sense of excitement and unpredictability into the tour.
Okay, this is huge.
Yeah.
So we've got potential for new music, the intrigue of a possible collaboration, and now this whole angle of connecting with a younger audience. What's the general vibe from longtime fans? Are they on board with this evolution?
You know, it's interesting. Articles highlighted a real mix of reactions.
Yeah.
You've got those diehard fans who are ecstatic about anything and everything. Rascal Flatts.
Yeah.
They're pre-ordering tickets, planning road trips, dusting off their old concert tees.
Yeah.
But then there's another segment of the fan base that's a little more hesitant.
Hesitant. Why is it?
Reunion tours are tricky.
Yeah.
There's always this fear that the band won't live up to the memories.
Right.
That they'll somehow tarnish the legacy of the music that meant so much to people.
Oh, yeah.
And after a 5-year hiatus, after those rumors of internal conflicts, there's even more at stake.
Yeah. It's true. They're not just recreating a tour, they're recreating a feeling, a moment in time.
Right.
And for some fans, that might feel too precious to mess with.
Exactly. And that's why the decision to include new music, to potentially collaborate with other artists, is so fascinating. It's a gamble.
It is.
It could alienate some of those longtime fans who are looking for a purely nostalgic experience. But it could also be the key to proving their relevance, to showing the world that Rascal Flatts still has what it takes to create music that connects.
It's a high-stakes game, that's for sure. But let's be real, even with all the uncertainty, the speculation, the potential for things to go wrong, there's a part of us that can't help but get swept up in the excitement. Right?
Absolutely. And that's where we come to those fan theories.
Okay, let's do it.
Because if there's one thing we've learned from these deep dives, it's that sometimes the most outlandish ideas turn out to be the most telling.
Oh, I love where this is going. So what are we thinking? What have those Rascal Flatts sleuths uncovered?
Right.
Give us the good stuff.
And we are back for one last ride on this Rascal Flatts roller coaster. We've talked about everything, the tour, the rumors, the possible new music, the collaborations.
It's a lot.
It is, but now it's time to really let loose, you know? Time to indulge in those fan theories.
Oh, yeah.
Those what-ifs that make a reunion like this so much fun to unpack.
Gotta love a good fan theory.
I know, and you know what? Sometimes those fan theories, they're surprisingly insightful.
It's true.
They reveal a deeper understanding of the band's, history, their dynamics, their connection with the fan base. For sure.
Yeah.
It's not just about guessing what's going to happen. It's about exploring the possibilities. The stuff that gets people talking and debating and ultimately feeling even more invested in the outcome.
It's like we're all part of this big Rascal Flatts family reunion ourselves, trying to piece together the clues and predict the next chapter.
Exactly.
So lay it on me. What are some of the juiciest theories you've uncovered?
All right, well, we got to start with that Huntsville anomaly.
Oh, yes. Huntsville. Tell me more.
Remember how we were talking about those delayed ticket sales for that show?
Yeah, it's sus.
Fans are convinced it's more than just a logistical thing. They're saying it's going to be a Gary LeVox hometown surprise.
Okay, I gotta admit, that one's got legs. A surprise performance in his own backyard. That's the kind of heartwarming story that writes itself. Plus, it would explain why they're holding back on those Huntsville tickets. Builds anticipation, creates a frenzy. It's brilliant, really.
Right. And it plays into that theme of honoring their past, acknowledging where they came from. It's like they're saying, We haven't forgotten you, Huntsville. We're bringing it home.
Okay, I'm sold. That's one theory down. What else are those rumor mills churning out?
All right, this one's a little out there.
Okay.
But it's gaining some serious traction online.
Okay.
Some fans think this entire reunion tour is actually setting up for a farewell tour.
Whoa, hold on. A farewell tour to their reunion tour?
I know, right?
That's like next level meta. I don't even know I can handle that. But I'm intrigued. Walk me through the logic here.
Okay, so think about it. They've been pretty open about needing a break.
They have.
About those, personal and creative differences. Maybe this reunion, this chance to reconnect with fans and each other on a massive scale.
Yeah.
It's their way of saying goodbye on their own terms.
So it's less about starting a new chapter and more about closing the book, with a sense of peace closure and maybe a little fanfare.
Exactly. It allows them to celebrate their legacy, introduce their music to a new generation, and then walk away with their heads held high. It's a gamble, of course.
Oh, for sure.
Some fans would feel misled, for sure.
Yeah.
But it could also be incredibly powerful.
As much as I love a good conspiracy theory, I have to hand it to these fans. They're thinking critically, they're engaging with the band's history, and they're coming up with interpretations that add a whole new layer of meaning to this whole reunion.
Totally.
It's not just about the music anymore. It's about the story behind it.
And that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating.
It is.
Whether they release new music or collaborate with other artists or pull off some crazy surprise.
Right.
One thing's for sure. Rascal Flatts, they know how to get our attention.
They do.
How to make us curious.
Yes.
To remind us why their music has resonated for so long.
They've tapped into something special, something that goes way beyond the stage and the lights and the catchy melodies. It's a connection. It's a shared history. It's that feeling you get when you hear Praying for Daylight for the first time again, or you're belting out Life is a Highway on a summer road trip.
It's true.
It all comes back to that, doesn't it?
It really does. And at the end of the day, isn't that what a reunion like this is all about? Reconnecting with those feelings, revisiting those memories, and just maybe creating some new ones along the way.
So well said. For now, we wait. Tickets in hand, ready to see what the future holds for Rascal Flatts. Who knows? Maybe some of those fan theories will turn out to be true. Only time will tell.
And that's it for our deep dive on the Rascal Flatts reunion tour. We covered it all, folks. The highs, the lows, the maybes.
What ifs. Exactly. But most importantly, we tapped into that incredible fan energy.
Oh, yeah.
The excitement, the theories, the passion. That's what makes this comeback so captivating. And who knows? This might just be the beginning of the story. What do you think?
I think we need to stay tuned.
To be continued, right?
For me, your host name, and the ever insightful expert name, this has been a blast. We'll see you at the next deep dive.